I mean, when you take the job, I mean, the non-conference, all is kind of getting your feet wet, so to speak. But the start of league play, is that kind of something you've been looking forward to? I guess just kind of see where you are. You said the last time we were here, I guess you wish you had another month to prepare.
Still feel the same way.
Yeah.
I think I'll feel the same way till the ball stops bouncing for this team. But everybody's excited, and I'm sure Auburn will be excited as well, and really the rest of the league. Auburn's already played, obviously, and there's games tonight that I look forward to watching.
Mm-hmm.
But for us to finally get going in league play it's exciting. You come to Georgia to compete against the best of the best, and SEC men's basketball now is arguably the best league in the country, of course, to match a lot of other sports that have done it in this league for a long time. So it'll be Auburn, then another one, and it'll be 18 really strong opponents, and then in the SEC tournament. So ready to get going.
Of course, you've got a lot of guys on the team who have never been through an SEC schedule. Some
Yeah.
come from bigger programs and all that. But what's the message to those guys who will be experiencing this for the first time?
You got to have some edge. You got to be ready to go. You got to respond to adversities on and off the court, but especially in game, because there's going to be a lot of adversity. We're going to face a lot of adversity tomorrow night in a lot of different ways, offensively, defensively. Foul trouble, a call, a turnover, what have you, a run, by the opposing team. But I think we're growing in that area, and again, I think overall we're really excited.
Talk about that growth, but what kind of progress did you see? You're in non-conference play across the board with this team, and the areas you're still really focused on.
We found a little bit of offensive identity, and we'll continue to progress toward our best version. And like the rest of our league, it's still a work in progress, probably us especially. Our ball security, our decisions, our assist turnover ratio, our emotions we talked about, our responses to adversities have gotten better. A strength obviously has been our offensive rebounding. A deficiency in our last one was defensive rebounding, which has been pretty good, but it's hurt us at times against Auburn and against most teams in our league. If you're not on point there, you're going to give up offensive rebound putbacks. You're going to give up extra possessions. So a lot of strengths, a lot of weaknesses, but more of an understanding right now of what we can ride and what we can continue to improve upon to be competitive in league play.
Can you talk about the rebounding? How challenging is that going to be against Auburn with what they do well, and particularly with the size they bring to the floor?
Yeah, they're strong, they're big, they're deep, they're very athletic. They play a really big starting lineup, of course, and they play really hard. I mean, they get after it on the offensive glass. It's an elite defensive team, one of the better defensive teams in all of college basketball right now. Very disruptive, a team that really gets after you.
You talked about, with Kyron leaving, one of the guys you pointed to was Jabri, coming off really good showing against Ryder. What stood out about the way Jabri played and what he was able to do?
He's playing hard. He's improved his level of intensity from the first day of practice. He's a better defender. He's a better rebounder. I think he's got that I'm going to make coach play me mentality, over the past couple months, and that edge, I used that word a couple minutes ago, that he's brought to practice on a daily basis has led to significant improvement. He's one of our most improved guys. And as our opposition knows, and everyone in the locker room with him, he's got a nice stroke. He can really shoot it, and he's developing other parts of his game as well. But that's where he's improved the most. He's just he's playing hard. He's mixing it up defensively and on the glass.
And for a guy like Braylon in a game like this, you mentioned Auburn's size. I mean, how imperative he's going to be for him to play well tomorrow night.
He's got to play well in every SEC game for us to have, a chance for us to be competitive. We're going to be reliant upon Braylon and a couple other guys, of course, but he's important to what we're doing, both offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm.
When you go against a Bruce Pearl team, what year after year do you expect to see? What is sort of the characteristics that those teams usually have?
Oh, they're going to play hard. They're going to be scrappy. They're going to be disruptive, of course. They're going to run good stuff. I mean, he's won a bunch of games, obviously, so he's got a pretty good handle on what he's doing. And, different roster than last year. They're a little bit different. Their offensive and defensive identities are a little bit different, but again, they're guarding as well as anyone is guarding. And They're rebounding it at a high clip. Really hard to defend. A great transition offense. Obviously, the special situations, they've always been really good in, and they'll continue to strive there. So we got to be prepared.
You mentioned that guard matchup. Kind of, how do you see that kind of going with your guys against theirs?
Be competitive. Be high-level SEC guard play, night in and night out. Start tomorrow night.
Any other questions for Coach?